Hi guys, back here with another video. This is a review of my latest belt. This is the 2007 ECW World Heavyweight Championship, the red logo version. This was given to Rob Van Dam after he beat John Cena at one night stand to become WWE champion, and then he was given the ECW World title as well by Paul Heyman. This is the last version of the belt with the added black paint. Normally this fencing is gold with black outline, but I decided to get it painted in because I think it looks better. This belt is made by Jamil Celery. He did a good job. To be honest, I didn't really want to pay too much money for this belt because it's a hardcore looking belt. It doesn't really need high definition etching or anything, in my opinion. So I tried to get it at a good price. I got it between $250 and $300, which is pretty good. You might ask why I didn't go for the replica on WWE shop. One thing, the replicas are mostly hollow and the stamping isn't very deep. It's only about 1mm. This has about 1.5mm deep etching, plus it's got a real leather, so I don't need to get it re-leathered. And if I bought the WWE one, I would have had to get it painted because it didn't have the added black paint. So I would have had to pay extra to get paint modification. So I just decided to have it made from scratch. And I got it made the way that I wanted it to look. And I think it came out really nice. So let's get into this review. It's not exactly JMar tooling, but it does look nice. To be honest, I'm not going to sell this. It's not for sale or anything, so it's going to be part of my collection, so it doesn't need to be fully accurate. But the leather is quite nice. Nice tooling here, which is what JMar puts in his snap boxes, and the tip. The leather is pretty good. It's not the best, but it is decent. Very flexible, very strong, very soft as well, and you can definitely tell the detail. The snaps are really good as well, no tarnishing or anything, no discoloring. This does have the barbed wire tooling. Again, it's not exactly as JMar did it, but it is barbed wire tooling nonetheless, and I think it looks pretty decent for what the belt is. And nice beveled lines in the leather. Pretty nice cut, very smooth around the edges, no rough cuts or anything. Unfortunately the edges are not sealed, but I might try to do that myself at some point. I have been researching on how to seal the edges, so I might do that myself, hopefully, once I learn how to do it. On the other side, again, the stamp, the tooling, very nice smooth backing, very soft, feels really good. Nice smooth leather. The real JMar, I believe it had like a little crest here that JMar uses on his leather, but as mentioned, it's not fully accurate. And it didn't have any tooling around the plates here, which is what I like. It looks really good without the tooled off plate area. Just a nice uniform look all the way. And this is the tight cut. So the plates do go over the tooling it's a much tighter cut. I think the wider cut would look too big, so I requested a tight cut, and it looks pretty good. Very strong leather, it holds up the belt pretty well. So the belt doesn't fall over or anything, it's quite sturdy. And it doesn't really weigh too much. I think it probably weighs £4, maybe 5. It is 4mm. Standard definition etch. And this is not 24 karat gold or anything, it's just standard gold. As I mentioned, I didn't really want to pay too much, as it is a display piece. So, nice black paint on the edge of the chair, behind the chair. Hardcore. And then the red ECW logo on the chair. You can see this etching. And then it says wrestling. I really like the black and red colour scheme, it looks really good. You might be able to see the stamping here, it is pretty deep. Wrestling. And then the globe with the barbed wire. You can see how deep this etching is there on the globe. The paint is good, decent paintwork. To be honest, it does have a more hardcore look to it, so I'm not too worried about the overall look. Just a really good belt, really good design, and it fit the promotion really well. There is a purple logo version, and I think there's a black logo version as well, with the Taz name. The last person to hold this was Mark Henry, and then the 2008 big silver belt was debuted. I was not a fan of that belt, I wish they would have kept this one. That was more of a WWE belt, it had more WWE logos than ECW. My favourite person to hold this, probably Kane, Big Show, CM Punk, John Morrison, and Chavo Guerrero held it for a brief while before losing to Kane. This is the plate, nice 4mm, no rough edges on the plates. The plates are very well cut and they're very smooth as well. There you can see the etching, it's pretty good. I would say 1.5mm deep. Sometimes with standard definition etch, the etching is not smooth all the way through, so it may be deeper etched in certain parts and then a bit more shallower in the other parts. But this is pretty good, you can see there. The black fencing with the fence, the chain link fence, barbed wire bats, and these are pretty detailed. They've got like a texture to them. There was one version where it says Taz along this part. There you can see the etching again. And these are supposed to be bolts, but they're not real bolts, it's just gold with paint in there. And you can see the etching. I'm really happy with this belt, glad I got it over the WWE shop version, because that just would be too much work to get it re-levered and then get the paint work done and everything. And you can see the etching is pretty deep. I was actually surprised how deep the etching is for a $250 to $300 belt. So that shows you how far the makers have come in the past couple of years. That even a cheaper belt is, is decent. It's good enough for display. World, and then heavyweight in blood lettering. And it does say wrestling on this belt, which is really good. You can see the etching, heavyweight wrestling, and then it's like blood dripping down into the champion banner onto the letter A. And then it says champion, again with the small bolt design. And here you can see it does look pretty good. The black and red really works. Now for the strap, it's quite flexible. Obviously the edges are not sealed. Very flexible. Again, you cannot do this with a WWE replica, it would just break. And it's a pretty good size belt. It's about 9 inches high on the center plate, 9 inches wide, 4 inches on the inner side plate, and 2 inches wide, and then 3.5 on this one, and about 1.5 inches wide. So it is a pretty good size belt. It did look small on the bigger wrestlers like Mark Henry, Kane, Big Show, but it is a pretty small belt. That's why it looked small on those guys. There you can see the flexibility of the lever. And it's got bolts, proper bolts. Center bolt as well, which is always good. So now I'm gonna put the belt around the waist, put it on the shoulder, and then give you guys my final thoughts, and that will be the end of this review. That's how it looks on the waist. You can definitely see how well the colour scheme looks. It's got a nice curve to it. Again, it's not too big. I would say it's the size of the winged eagle, maybe. Just in this part, but the winged eagle does have the bars. So the winged eagle is a bit bigger in width because of the bars. But if you were to take off the bars of the winged eagle and had just the center plate and the side plates, it would be a pretty similar size to this belt. So that should give you a example of the size. And it does fit pretty well. The snaps are easy to use, they're not stiff or anything, so very easy to put on. And the big gold looks a bit oversized on me because it's a big belt and I'm about 5'5", but this belt looks pretty good. It doesn't look oversized or anything, and I like that. So I'll show you how it looks on the shoulder. Here's how it looks on the shoulder. Again, it does have the leather backing, so it does stay on your shoulder. And this takes up majority of my shoulder, so again, very good size. I think this was a better fit for the smaller guys, but it was a bit too small for the bigger guys like Big Show, Mark Henry and Kane. I have a feeling that's why they made the silver belt, but it just wasn't well received by the fans. So I'll show you the curve. It's got a decent curve. I could put about half my hand underneath it. Side plates are flat, but to be honest, there's not really much to curve on the side plates because they're not that big. But the curve on the main plate is pretty good. You can see in a bit of better lighting the detail on this. Nice paintwork. Nice blue in the globe. To be honest, everybody has to thank ECW for the extreme style of wrestling, like barbed wire, thumbtacks, flaming tables, and trash cans and kendo sticks. All that stuff came from ECW. So hardcore wrestling in any company is linked to ECW in my opinion. There you can see the really nice black fencing, nice red logo, the heavyweight wrestling wording, champion banner, and a nice blue around the globe with the barbed wire going through it. Again, just a very, very good design for the promotion. Definitely works. So guys, should you buy this belt? In my opinion, yes. Jamil Celery, I hope I'm saying that right. He is a good maker, his work is decent, and for the price you can't really go wrong. Let's just say if you were to buy the WWE version, you would not get real leather and you won't get the deeper stamping. But with this you are getting the deeper etching and real leather. But that's down to personal preference, to be honest. I just didn't want to have to pay for paint modifications and for real leather. So I got it made from scratch. So that's how it looks. Just a very nice belt. So guys, that's the end of this review. I'm trying to keep it short. And if you guys enjoyed this review, give it a big thumbs up. Images will be on Facebook of this belt. Maybe on Instagram. If WWE don't decide to, flag the post or anything, then I will post pictures of this on Instagram. But if you're on the Belt Masters group, then please stay tuned for images and turn on the notification bell so you are always notified whenever I upload a new video. And as always, thanks for watching.